Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's gonna get right into and start with the NFL news and work our way up. So we'll start with Schefter here. So the Falcons, they interviewed Mike McDaniel for their head coach opening last night. They completed their interview. So now let's go over the schedule for the divisional round. This weekend we have Saturday on the 17th at 4:30. We got Bills at Broncos, and then at 8, 49ers at Seahawks, and then Sunday 3 p.m. Texans at Patriots, and then 6:30 Rams at Bears. That's your divisional round schedule. I'll go in order. It'll be on CBS, Fox, ESPN, and NBC/Peacock. So the Buccaneers, they completed a virtual interview with New York Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka for their offensive coordinator position. I don't know why you want to hire this dude, but whatever. The Steelers season Monday night. Now they're exactly 100 days until the NFL draft returns to Pittsburgh. Old man. So Panthers GM Dan Morgan, he said today that Carolina plans to pick up the fifth-year option of on former number 1 overall pick Bryce Young. So they're going to pick up the fifth-year option. The Bills, they designated defensive tackle Ed Oliver and wide receiver Curtis Samuel to return to practice. So big news there for Buffalo. Kevin O'Connell, speaking his end-of-season press conference, says assistant head coach Mike Pettine, he is retiring. So a change for the Chargers. They are firing offensive coordinator Greg Roman, per sources. I mean, it's the right move. I mean, the entire offensive line should probably follow him up the door too. But Greg Roman just isn't a good coordinator to me. Like, he's never been like an elite offensive coordinator. He just hasn't been too good. Like, I know the offensive line is terrible for the Chargers, and I get it. They need to reset. And Greg Roman has been Jim Harbaugh's only offensive coordinator in the NFL. From San Francisco to the Chargers, had to be fired, man. It was time. Interview with the Baltimore Ravens, completed an interview with Brian Flores for their head coaching position. But the big news, man, after a historic 19 season run in Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin just informed the team that he is stepping down as the Steelers head coach. Steelers now will be only looking for only their fourth head coach since 1969. This is a crazy ass coaching cycle. But it'll be interesting to see if a team were to trade for him. If he goes to media, he could go to media first. But all of these long-time coaches, man, being fired or stepping down is crazy. He had a really nice run for a long time, but it was just time for both sides. 7 straight years. They've lost a playoff game. They haven't been competitive in like 6 of them. So it's kind of crazy, man. These John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin no longer coaching these two teams, man. He never had a losing season. 139, 114, 2 regular season record. Super Bowl champion, 19 seasons. They're only looking for their fourth head coach since 1969. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, and whoever gets in there now. The two longest tenured coaches, Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, are no longer with their teams, and now it's Andy Reid, longest tenured coach. So 9 head coaching vacancies. So Mike Tomlin will have options what he can do next year. He can take the year off. He can have a job with television and analysts. He can do what he wants, but it won't be coaching with the Steelers. 3 of the 4 AFC North teams now have head coaching vacancies. So Art Rooney put out a statement. Mike Tomlin put out a statement as well. George Kittle will have surgery tomorrow on his torn Achilles. Bills receiver Tyrell Shavers has torn his ACL as well. So Gabe Davis and Tyrell Shavers have tore their ACL. Sources, Eagles have fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. They have their 5th offensive coordinator in 5 years, so not really too much of a surprise here. Kevin Patullo, one of the worst offensive coordinators in the NFL. You can figure that out early in the season. Fred Warner, his practice window open. I don't think he's going to play this week, but if they didn't make the conference championship, maybe. T.J. Edwards and Ozzie Trapilo are placed on injured reserve. Max Clare, Ohio State Tigers leaving school early and entering the NFL draft. Jordan Addison, Vikings receiver, was arrested early Monday morning and charged with misdemeanor trespassing. In spite of interest from several NFL teams, Marcus Freeman still is expected to remain at Notre Dame for the 2026 season, per sources. Okay, now I think that's all the news there from Schefter. So the Ravens owner Steve Biscotti talked about how much of a say Lamar has. He says a lot of say, but he has no power. He says he has the power. So Lamar has some say. Has a lot of say, but he has no power. Brian Dable called John Harbaugh, recommending the job to him because of Jackson Dart. John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are at the top of the Dolphins' wish list at head coach. They're looking for a culture setter. The Giants, Falcons, and Titans are considered the favorites to land John Harbaugh. Schultz report, don't be surprised if Brian Flores, this is a rumor, who was with Pittsburgh in 2022, gets a real look. That makes too much sense. The league executive told Schultz. So the current belief is in league circles that Mike Tomlin will do at least 1 year media. The Steelers will still own his rights, which sets the stage for a trade next offseason, per Schultz report. He has told people he'd like to coach a team in a warm weather environment if the fit is right. So he is stepping down. He is done. The Commanders are hoping to interview Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores for their vacancy at the same spot. A Cowboys pass rusher Donovan Ezraku was arrested over the weekend for reckless driving, according to police reports. He was released the same day with a bond of $500. Reports re-signing wide receiver Alec Pierce will be a priority for the Colts as free agency approaches, per Chris Bauer, their GM. Giants executive Chris Mayer met with John Harbaugh for lunch on Sunday, and he had an informal meeting at his house. I want to get some more context here on Kevin Patullo. So the phrase important. He's not fired. There's a chance he could remain on Nick Sirianni's coaching staff. They should get Nick Sirianni fired alone. I don't know why they even bother to keep Kevin Patullo. So they're making a change. They're not firing him. So I wanted to give some context. He's not getting fired. He's probably staying on the coaching staff. But I don't even know why I bother to keep him, honestly. The Chargers, they are firing their offensive line coach, and Kevin Stefanski, the former Brown coach, is interviewing in person for the Dolphins head coaching job. Today, Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley interviews today for the Titans head coaching job. Started a busy week. He also interviewed with the Falcons, Cardinals, Raiders, and Dolphins. Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator, will interview in person for the Bucs offensive coordinator opening Wednesday in Tampa. But that's all for football. Let's move on here. So from Shams Charania, Dallas Mavericks Anthony Davis likely to undergo surgery to repair ligament damage in his left hand and missed several months. Sources tell ESPN his Dallas season is essentially over, given the prognosis and the Mavs' direction. So he's probably going to have to get surgery to repair ligament damage. Fascinating development. The Mavs are having renewed Davis trade talks with multiple interested teams. But the Mavericks have basically renewed trade talks with multiple interested teams. Sources say moved to playoff contender return timeline could allow him to return during the postseason while establishing himself for the long term elsewhere. You would take a small fry from McDonald's at this point. You're telling me this team still want Anthony Davis? Mavericks fans would literally take anything, dude. They would probably even take a small bag of Doritos at this point. So this could potentially be the beginning of John Morant's exit from Memphis, with teams like the Heat and Kings sitting out as teams with some interest per Shams. And he also says Anthony Davis is on his way to Los Angeles today to meet a hand specialist. So apparently, Luka Doncic has reportedly been calling Dennis Schroeder a bitch since the Olympics, and Dennis finally got fed up and attempted to swing on him. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Anthony Davis could potentially return in March, potentially. And Bam Adebayo has been struggling in the Heat's new offense, and executives believe the team could receive decent offers from him on the trade market if they decide to trade him. I don't think they'll trade him. I'm not going to give my time for that. The Cavs have been rejecting trade offers for DeAndre Hunter and want to give the roster more time. People in the Lakers organization have been happy with Rich Paul's podcast, and John Morant, per Rachel Nichols, say with the Grand Song wants to go to Miami. The Grizzlies are unlikely to receive any unprotected first-round picks for John Morant and are willing to take on bad contracts in hopes of acquiring more young players and draft picks in trade talks. Kyrie, he's expected to return for the All-Star break. The Knicks are a dark horse team for John Morant per money, 23 per Draymond. What? DeAndre Hunter reportedly wants out of Cleveland, but they aren't going to trade him. The Bucks are showing some interest in Miles Bridges. Clutch Sports is reportedly pushing for the Lakers to trade for DeAndre Hunter and Miles Bridges. The Celtics would love to trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. Sure, man. I don't think anybody would be interested in trading for him. So we have a few things here for baseball. So the Kansas City Royals are moving most of the fences at their stadium by 10 feet and lowering the height of their wall as well. So the Giants are aggressively pursuing a second baseman and been engaged with Chicago Nico Horner, St. Louis and Brandon Donovan. An infield of Matt Chapman, Willie Thomas, Donovan, or Horner and Raphael would be a really damn good infield right there. But the big news really today was Arizona Diamondbacks are acquiring 8-time All-Star third baseman Nolan Arenado in a trade with St. Louis. Sources tell ESPN he has agreed to waive his no trade clause and the deal is done. So finally some stuff happening last couple days this offseason. So he's going to Arizona, waive his no trading clause. So St. Louis is receiving granted pitcher Jack Martinez from Arizona per the team announcement. St. Louis is paying $31 of his $42 million remaining contract. So there's the deal right there with Nolan Arenado. The D-backs agreed to terms with Jonathan Loaiza on a minor league contract. Kyle Tucker, the Mets have offered him $50 million a season on a short-term deal to free agent outfielder. The Phillies acquired Chase Sugar in an in-state trade for Francisco Loreto. The D-backs, I know we already talked about that. Basically, they were engaged in conversation and trade, and then it happened. But there's some MLB news right there, but the big news was Nolan Arenado getting traded. Some NASCAR news. Bob was asked, will the fastest lap point return? He said yes, it returned, so 76 points max, except for the 600, which is extra stage, so 86, and top 10 points for duels. So Daytona overall max points 86 as well. So bringing the fastest lap point is back. I mean, you can come out of the garage and still get it. So they kind of need to tweak that, but other than that, I'm glad it's coming back. Luke Baldwin, he'll have 12 truck races with Team Rayom. 2311 FRM NASCAR lawsuit update formal filing that they reached a settlement deadline was yesterday. The court reset that deadline today to February 11th. The legal wording for new charter agreement still not done. It's getting close from what I've been told, but not totally done. So there's that. So Tony Stewart is back in NASCAR for one night. 3-time Cup champ, a Dodge driver in NHRA, will drive a Ram truck for Collie in the season opener at Daytona. He hasn't competed in NASCAR since 2016. Will be his first truck race since 2005. Man, I'm gonna love seeing Tony back in the truck. He's won 19 races at Daytona, but never raced a truck there. He'll be in the number 25 truck. Crew chief still to be announced, but glad to see Tony back. Hopefully, he can go out there and win. The Clash formats this year, as far as the heats, LCQ and final race, same as last year, 25 lap heats, 75 lap LCQ, 200 lap main event, caution laps no count. Also expect the same number of cars, 23 in the main event with 5 from each heat, 2 from LCQ, and then 1 spot on 2025 driver points. Phillies has inked a multi-year sponsorship agreement with Carson Hocevar Inspired. Jake Finch to race Daytona and Talladega with Nitro Motorsports. Mason Massey, I believe, is going to Bill McAnally's ARCA team. So something about wrestling here in the video. So Tiffany Stratton is reportedly expected to be prominently showcased heading to WrestleMania 42 when I don't know what they're gonna what could they possibly be doing to have her showcased. We'll see. Maybe could they have her like turn back heel? I don't know what they're gonna prominently showcase. Are they gonna have her feud with Jade again? I mean, I don't really want to see that. But Ava will address the future of the NXT Championship tonight after Obathemi vacated it. So apparently the plan for Roman Reigns versus Cody is reportedly probably not happening. It's probably not happening now. So the reported plans changed last week when the decision was made to have Drew dethrone Cody for the Undisputed Championship. Thank God. I mean, the match would probably be super good, but I don't want to see it a third time. We've already seen it twice. Third match will probably still be really good, but we've seen it twice, man. We don't need to see this again. But yeah, that's all the news I have for this video with NFL, NBA, MLB, NASCAR, wrestling. It was a big news day, man. There's a lot of news from football. You had a baseball trade. You had some NBA news. A little bit of wrestling there. And the NASCAR, some things. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe for more. Take some out. Peace.